Hey everybody, my name is Darren and this is going to be my video presentation for our final project. Trying to find the right topic for this project took a little more time from what I imagined, but finally I decided to use Eli Clare's essay, Clear Cut, Explaining the Distance. I think that his essay is very powerful when it comes to spreading the awareness of the negative ramifications of years of environmental neglect and its parallel with global capitalism. This brings me to the topic I selected, which is, in broad terms, environmental awareness. But more specifically, I would like to discuss how some of our methods of production, as well as the ways in which we gather resources, has been detrimental to the gradual devastation of our environment. The following are just three examples that contribute to our global climate crisis: fracking, factory farming, and deforestation. Fracking is a process of injecting a mixture of water, sand, and chemicals into a hole drilled deep into the earth, which then creates fractures in the surrounding rock to release oil and natural gas. Because of this process, there is a tremendous amount of water usage from fracking companies around the country. Worse, however, is the risk of contaminating the groundwater as well as drinking water because of the use of holding ponds for hazardous waste. Factory farming, on the other hand, is a farm in which large numbers of livestock are raised indoors in conditions intended to maximize production at minimal costs. As a result of this method, factory farms directly contribute to water, land, and air pollution, and not to mention that many of us consume products from these farms. Since the end of the last ice age, the world has lost approximately 1/3 of its forests on habitable land. Forests are vital for life on Earth, purifying the air we breathe, as well as protecting us from erosion and landslides. Unfortunately, forests continue to be ravaged on a global scale despite the evident consequences. However, there are alternatives to the destructive methods that we continue to use. Collectively, I believe we must focus our time and resources on practicing clean and renewable methods of production on a national and individual level. With that being said, I propose three sustainable alternatives to the examples I have aforementioned. Wind and solar power are examples of renewable energy, meaning it is clean and theoretically inexhaustible. These two methods of energy production utilize our natural air current as well as the light generated by our sun to transform that into usable energy for heat or electricity, making it a great alternative to fracking. Many people are transitioning to solar power for their homes, which not only saves the environment but also saves you money. When it comes to farming and sustenance, using sustainable agricultural practices as well as supporting local farmers is the best way to combat the pollution produced by factory farming. Sustainable agriculture works as a healthy farm should, whereas it manages its inputs, such as fertilizer or feed, and outputs, such as manure and waste, in a cycle, creating a flourishing and biodiverse surrounding environment. In fact, sustainable agriculture can also attribute to the fight against deforestation. Community-based farms that are organically sustained can prevent the need to flatten areas of our forests for these massive industrial farms. On top of that, governments and authorities around the world need to buckle down on companies pursuing immediate economic gains at the expense of long-term damage. Laws that outline green business practices allow a company to continue to operate and generate a profit, but this time in accordance with regulations designed to conserve and recycle our resources. Overall, this project has presented itself with its fair share of challenges. However, I think my biggest challenge was deciding what topic to do the project on, and more importantly, what specific problems I would like to address. There are a lot of wonderful essays in our book that contain a great selection of important topics and issues. Whenever there are a lot of options, however, sometimes it can be a bit overwhelming, especially when making sure that your topic has a decent library of peer-reviewed articles. In that case, I knew that environmental issues has had quite a bit of documentation and scholarly research conducted. Not only that, but reading Claire's essay reminded me of a similar experience I have had pertaining to environmental negligence, which urged me to choose this topic and better inform myself. I am proud of the time and effort I put into researching the problems I indicated, as well as the possible solutions. Making an effort in reducing our footprint is the only way that we can even plan for any kind of future. I hope that my presentation has conveyed my research clearly and effectively. Thank you.